They say it's lions today. 6 of them. For Nero's birthday.
Then let the pride meet its king.
We are next. They will not show mercy. Fear is a cage.
He was meant to die for their entertainment. Instead, he became their reckoning. The drums were pounding. Dust fell from the stone ceiling. Chains clinked. Oil lamps flickered in the dim holding pens beneath the Colosseum, casting shadows across blood-stained walls. Titus Valerius sat alone, naked from the waist up, muscles like carved stone. His broad chest rose with slow, steady breaths. Scars crossed his body like war maps, marks of battles from campaigns in Germania and Britannia, and more recently, the sand. Today, Rome expected him to die. A young, trembling gladiator leaned close. They say it's lions today, 6 of them, for Nero's birthday. Titus didn't blink. Then let the pride meet its king. The gates creaked open. Sunlight cut through the darkness like a blade. The roar of 50,000 Romans exploded overhead. "Titus! Titus! The lion! The lion!" He stepped into the light, not as a man, but as a symbol, as vengeance wrapped in muscle. Just 1 year ago, Titus was a Roman centurion, a decorated war hero. He had led legions across cold rivers and broken tribes with iron discipline. But ambition breeds enemies. A treacherous senator, Lucius Varro, betrayed him during a campaign. Accused of insubordination, Titus was quietly stripped of his honors and sold to a ludus, a gladiator school, run by a sadistic lanista named Septimus. The sand became his battlefield. But instead of weeping, he adapted. Every swing of his sword was calculated. Every drop of blood a reminder. Survive until the time is right. He didn't just survive, he dominated. Men twice his size fell to him. Beasts bowed before him. Crowds screamed his name like he was a god reborn. And Nero took notice. The emperor, obsessed with blood, drama, and music, saw in Titus a living legend, an actor in his twisted theater. The Colosseum's underground corridors soon echoed with whispers. Titus, the lion, will never fall. He's not a slave, he's a storm waiting. Then came the invitation. A grand spectacle was planned for Nero's birthday. 100 gladiators, lions, elephants, and fire. The finale? Titus facing 6 lions, alone. Septimus begged him to refuse, but Titus simply replied, "I've waited long enough. If I die, it will be loud." As Rome feasted, Titus prepared. In secret, he met with others, veterans turned gladiators, slaves with memories of liberty, a mute blacksmith who still bore a legion tattoo. They whispered of rebellion, of turning Nero's theater into a war zone. Among his allies was Cassia, a former noblewoman forced into servitude after her family was purged by Nero's secret police. Her knowledge of tunnels, layouts, and the emperor's habits became crucial. As the celebration neared, Titus learned the truth. The man who sold him into slavery, Senator Lucius Varro, was not only alive, but seated next to Nero for the event. Fury boiled in Titus's chest, but he didn't let it blind him. He would not charge blindly. he would give Rome a show, then bring the empire to its knees. The celebration was grotesque. Nero, dressed in gold and playing his lyre, sat high above the arena on a velvet throne. Around him, senators, foreign kings, and Rome's elite bathed in wine, jewels, and arrogance. At the center of the Colosseum, 6 starving lions and 1 man. Titus entered shirtless, smeared in war paint made from ashes. The crowd held its breath. Even Nero leaned forward. A horn sounded. The gates opened. The lions charged. What followed was not just survival, it was slaughter. Titus moved like a phantom, rolling, stabbing, dodging, commanding. Blood sprayed the sand. 1 lion impaled, another beheaded, the last crushed under a falling bronze statue of Mars. The crowd erupted. Nero laughed. Titus raised his hands and gave the signal. All around the arena, the rebellion ignited. Gladiators disguised as performers threw off their robes and drew hidden blades. Slaves opened secret gates. Oil was set alight. Chaos exploded. Titus climbed the steps of the Colosseum like a general storming a fortress. Arrows flew, swords clashed, blood painted marble. He reached Nero's box. The emperor stood in stunned silence. Titus stared him down. "You made me a beast. Now you will feel the claws." But before he could strike, Varro stepped in, cowardly, smug, holding a dagger. Titus disarmed him with a headbutt. Then, with all Rome watching, he threw Varro into the arena where 1 wounded lion still stirred. Justice. Cassia arrived, bleeding but alive. The fires spread behind her. Nero was captured, not killed, yet. The rebellion didn't want martyrdom. They wanted fear in the heart of every senator, every patrician. That night, Rome burned again, not from madness, but from the fire of awakening. Weeks later, Rome still whispered of the day the lion roared back. Nero was eventually overthrown. The Colosseum was shut down for months, but among the people, a legend lived. There was once a man who walked into the arena to die, and walked out a king. Titus disappeared. Some say he was killed in the chaos. Others claimed he sailed to the east, leading a new legion of exiles and rebels. But many believe that in every rebellion, every roar of justice, the lion still lives.